Today I want to talk to you about something very near and dear to my own journey, something I believe is a fundamental cornerstone of success, both in life and in business. It's the idea of learning one skill at a time with the ultimate goal of making money, accumulating wealth, and creating a life of financial independence. This is not just a path to success, it is the path. Now, I want to begin by sharing a simple truth. Success in life, especially in the world of investing and wealth creation, doesn't come from being a jack of all trades. It doesn't come from trying to be good at everything. Success comes from mastering one thing at a time. It comes from a laser-like focus on learning, honing, and perfecting individual skills. When I was younger, like many of you, I was eager to get started. I wanted to learn everything there was to know about investing, business, and wealth creation. I thought that by spreading my efforts across a wide range of subjects, I would cover more ground and therefore become successful more quickly. But what I learned over time, and what has proven to be one of the most valuable lessons in my life, is that depth always trumps breadth when it comes to mastery. The world is filled with distractions. There are endless opportunities and options vying for your attention every single day. But the secret to accumulating wealth isn't found in trying to do everything or chase every shiny object that comes along. The secret lies in identifying the right skill, one that aligns with your goals and ambitions, and committing yourself to mastering it fully before moving on to the next. Let me put it this way. Imagine you have a magnifying glass. If you hold it under the sun and keep moving it from one spot to another, you'll never ignite a fire. But if you focus the glass on a single point and hold it steady, the concentrated sunlight will eventually start a flame. The same principle applies to learning and wealth creation. If you concentrate your efforts on mastering one skill at a time, the fire of success will ignite. Every skill you learn is a building block toward your overall success. When I was younger, I spent countless hours learning how to analyze financial statements. I didn't just skim over the basics. I dug deep into the numbers, the footnotes, the fine print. I learned to see not just what was on the surface, but what was underneath, the real story that the numbers were telling. That skill became one of the most valuable tools in my arsenal. It allowed me to identify undervalued companies and make investment decisions that have paid off in spades over the years. But here's the thing, I didn't try to learn everything about investing all at once. I didn't worry about mastering derivatives, commodities, or international markets right out of the gate. I focused on one thing, understanding the balance sheet, the income statement, and the cash flow statement, and I mastered it. That foundational skill set the stage for everything else that followed. Once you've mastered a skill, it becomes part of your toolkit. It's something you can rely on, something you can build upon. And as you add more skills to your toolkit, your ability to create value and by extension wealth grows exponentially. But this growth only happens if you take the time to truly master each skill before moving on to the next. Now let's talk about the compound effect, a concept that is near and dear to every investor's heart. Compounding doesn't just apply to money, it applies to skills as well. Every skill you master compounds your effectiveness, your efficiency, and your ability to create wealth. Think of it this way. If you learn one skill and it increases your income by 10%, that's fantastic. But if you then learn a second skill that builds on the first, your income might increase not just by another 10%, but by 20% or 30% because of the synergy between the two skills. Over time, as you continue to learn and master new skills, the compounding effect can lead to exponential growth in your wealth. This is why it's so important to focus on learning one skill at a time. When you try to learn too many things at once, you dilute your efforts. You might make some progress in several areas, but you won't experience the full power of compounding. On the other hand, if you commit yourself to mastering one skill, then move on to the next, and then the next, you create a powerful momentum that can carry you much farther than you ever imagined. Of course, this approach requires two things that are often in short supply: patience and persistence. We live in a world that values speed. Everyone wants to get rich quick to achieve success overnight. But I can tell you from experience that true wealth is built over time, through consistent effort and disciplined learning. When you're learning a new skill, there will be times when it feels like you're not making any progress. There will be moments of frustration, moments when you're tempted to give up and move on to something else. But remember this, every skill worth mastering takes time. It takes dedication. It takes a willingness to push through the hard parts and keep going, even when it feels like you're not getting anywhere. The rewards, however, are worth it. When you've truly mastered a skill, you've created something of lasting value. You've added to your own personal wealth, a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of ability, a wealth of potential. And that in turn leads to financial wealth. Now I want to touch on another important point, the importance of choosing the right skills to master. Not all skills are created equal, and not all skills will lead to wealth. The key is to choose skills that have high leverage, skills that will allow you to create more value with less effort. For example, in the world of investing, the ability to read and analyze financial statements is a high leverage skill. It allows you to see opportunities that others might miss and make decisions that others might not have the confidence to make. Similarly, in business, the ability to sell is a high leverage skill. If you can sell, you can create value out of thin air. You can turn ideas into revenue, products into profits, and services into success. When you're deciding which skills to focus on, ask yourself, what will give me the most leverage? What will allow me to create the most value with the least effort? Those are the skills that will pay the highest dividends in terms of wealth creation. Finally, I want to emphasize the importance of continuous learning. The world is constantly changing, and the skills that are valuable today might not be as valuable tomorrow. This means that learning is not a one-time event, it's a lifelong process. Even after you've achieved success, even after you've accumulated wealth, it's important to keep learning, keep growing, and keep adding to your skill set. This is not just about staying relevant, it's about staying ahead. It's about continuously increasing your ability to create value, which in turn increases your ability to accumulate wealth. Remember, every skill you learn is a stepping stone on the path to wealth. But to truly succeed, you must be willing to walk that path one step at a time. You must be willing to focus, to master, to build upon what you've learned, and to keep learning throughout your life. So as you leave here today, I want you to think about your own journey. What skill are you going to focus on mastering next? How are you going to apply the power of focus, the compound effect, and continuous learning to your own path toward wealth? Remember, wealth is not just about the money in your bank account. It's about the value you create, the impact you have, and the legacy you leave behind. And all of that starts with mastering one skill at a time. Thank you, and I wish you all the success in the world as you embark on this journey of learning and wealth creation.